You won't believe what drones are finding when no one's watching. High in the skies above Africa, a secret rainforest nobody had ever mapped. Deep in the ocean, a hole so massive and mysterious, locals think dragons live inside it. Hidden in the sands of the Middle East, ancient stone circles older than the pyramids, and no one knows who built them. Even uncontacted tribes in the Amazon, living in total isolation for centuries, suddenly appeared in drone footage, without ever being approached. From lost Viking ships under farmland to entire cities erased by time and found from the air, drones are doing what satellites, archaeologists, and even explorers couldn't, revealing secrets the world was never supposed to see. These aren't movie plots. These are real places, and they were all found thanks to drones. Let's see what else the sky has been hiding. Mount Mabu's hidden rainforest, Mozambique. In northern Mozambique, a massive green patch stood out on satellite maps. But it wasn't until 2005 that a British scientist used drone surveillance and Google Earth to take a closer look. What they found shocked the world. Hidden atop Mount Mabu was a tropical rainforest no one outside the local tribes knew about. An ecosystem untouched by modern human activity. Once researchers arrived with drones and field teams, they discovered over 200 square kilometers of dense, lush forest. More than 126 species of birds, reptiles, and plants have been catalogued so far, including a previously unknown chameleon and a giant forest snake never seen before. Locals knew the mountain well, but its full ecological importance remained hidden until drone footage and satellite imagery made it visible to the world. Since its discovery, Mount Mabu has been nicknamed the Google Forest, and it's now one of the most important conservation areas in Africa. Paititi, the lost Incan city, Peru-Brazil border. The legend of Paititi, a lost Incan city of gold hidden deep in the Amazon, has excited explorers for centuries. Spanish records from the 1600s spoke of a rich city east of the Andes with stone buildings. Many thought it was just a myth, until recent drone and satellite images showed strange geometric shapes in the jungle near the Peru-Brazil border. In 2011, archaeologist Thierry Jamin said he found large square shapes and straight paths that looked man-made. Drones later captured images that seemed to show ruins of buildings or plazas. While some experts are still unsure, others think this could be part of the real Paititi, possibly linked to the El Dorado legend. The jungle is hard to explore on foot due to thick forests, dangerous animals, and isolation. But thanks to drones, more of the area can now be studied, and deeper investigations are planned in the coming years. Drone reveals Nazca Line-style geoglyphs, Kazakhstan. In 2014, a school teacher named Dmitry Day spotted something unusual while studying Google Earth images of Kazakhstan. He later used drones to confirm that the land was covered in massive symbols, circles, crosses, squares, and other shapes, spread over the Turgai Trough region. These ground carvings, or geoglyphs, are made of mounds and trenches and stretch across hundreds of square kilometers. Over 260 different geoglyphs have been found so far, some dating back over 2,000 years, making them potentially older than many famous structures in Europe. The shapes are only visible from the sky, which is why they went undiscovered for so long. Archaeologists are still unsure who built them or why. Some suggest ancient nomadic cultures, possibly linked to the Mahansar culture, used them for rituals or astronomy. The discovery drew international attention and even led NASA to step in and help researchers with satellite data. Despite that, the mystery remains unsolved, and the geoglyphs are now protected under Kazakhstan's cultural heritage laws. Roman roads in the UK. For decades, historians knew the Roman Empire had built thousands of roads across Britain. But many of them vanished over time, erased by farming, weather, or new construction. That changed when drones equipped with multispectral and LiDAR, light detection and ranging, cameras flew over the countryside of England, Wales, and Scotland. These advanced sensors can detect slight differences in vegetation or ground density, showing the invisible paths of ancient Roman roads beneath the surface. In 2020, researchers at the University of Cambridge used drones to rediscover sections of Roman roads that connected forts, towns, and coastlines. Some of these roads were completely unknown and not recorded on any modern maps. One major rediscovery happened in Northumberland, where a lost Roman route was found near Hadrian's Wall, one of the most famous Roman landmarks in the UK. The findings are now helping archaeologists redraw historical maps and better understand Roman military movements and trade routes across Britain. These discoveries also debunk the myth that Roman roads were straight and few. They were far more complex and widespread than originally believed. Uncontacted tribes in the Amazon, Brazil. The Amazon rainforest is still one of the least explored places on Earth. In Brazil, over 100 uncontacted tribes have been identified by FUNAI, but confirming them is hard without disturbing them. In 2018, a drone flown by FUNAI captured clear images of a small tribal village in the Valle do Javari region, near Peru and Colombia. The photos showed palm leaf huts, people with spears, and large open areas. Proof of a group living with no contact with modern life. This area is remote and dangerous, with problems like illegal logging and drug trafficking. That's why the drone discovery was important. Brazil's laws protect these tribes and allow them to stay isolated. Drones help watch over them safely, without using loud helicopters or spreading diseases. Satellite and drone data also track illegal activity near their lands. In 2022, indigenous groups and journalists pushed the government to act, showing drone footage at UN meetings to call for stronger conservation laws. Lost fortresses in the Gobi Desert, China and Mongolia. The Gobi Desert spans northern China and southern Mongolia, covering over 1.3 million square kilometers. It was once part of the Silk Road and still hides ancient ruins, caravan stops, and military posts buried under sand. Drones with high-resolution and infrared cameras are now being used by Chinese and Mongolian archaeology teams to explore the area. In 2021, a drone survey near Ajin Bana, Inner Mongolia, revealed the shape of an old fortress buried deep in the sand. It had walls, towers, and a central courtyard. Experts believe it was a Han Dynasty, 206 BCE, 220 CE, checkpoint, used to guard trade and help caravans along the Silk Road. This discovery showed how Chinese forces built stations with water, rest, and security points across the desert. The site has been digitally mapped, and efforts are being made to protect it. This is part of China's larger Silk Road Cultural Heritage Project, supported by UNESCO and tourism groups. Buried Viking ship, Norway. In 2018, researchers from the Norwegian Institute for Cultural Heritage Research, NICU, used drones with ground-penetrating radar to find a buried Viking ship under a farm in Stfold County, southeast Norway. They didn't dig any holes. The drone scans showed a long, even shape that matched Viking ship graves. The ship is over 1,000 years old, likely from the late 8th or 9th century during the Viking Age. It's more than 65 feet long, making it one of the biggest Viking ships ever discovered. Researchers also found signs of burial mounds, longhouses, and maybe a ceremonial area, suggesting this was once a powerful Viking site. Only Viking nobles and top warriors were buried in ships, often with weapons, tools, and personal items. Today, climate change and farming are damaging these sites, so drones and radar are now vital for saving them. The discovery was shown in National Geographic, and Norway has marked the site as a protected cultural monument. Island of Surtsey, Iceland. Surtsey Island suddenly appeared in 1963 after a strong volcanic eruption under the sea, about 32 kilometers off Iceland's southern coast. The eruption lasted nearly 4 years, forming a new island from lava and ash. Iceland declared Surtsey a natural laboratory, and it is closed to the public and most scientists. Only a few researchers can visit under strict rules to study how life grows in an untouched place. Drones are now the main way to observe the island. They take high-quality images that help scientists track erosion, birds, and plants without disturbing the land. Recent drone studies showed over 90 bird species now breed on the island, and more than 60 plant species have grown there naturally. In 2008, UNESCO named Surtsey a World Heritage Site because it helps us learn how life starts on new volcanic land. Drones now give real-time updates, something that wasn't possible in the past. Sunken World War II aircraft in the Pacific. The Pacific Ocean hides the remains of one of World War II's fiercest battles. In places like Truk Lagoon and Palau, drones have helped find and map shipwrecks and crashed planes lying underwater for over 80 years. Underwater drones, ROVs, and flying drones have found American and Japanese planes lost during battles like Operation Hailstone in 1944. That battle sank over 40 Japanese ships and destroyed more than 250 planes, many still underwater today. Groups like Ocean Exploration Trust, founded by Dr. Robert Ballard, who also found the Titanic, and Project Recover, working with the US Navy and universities, use drones to locate these wrecks in remote island waters. Some discoveries helped identify and return the remains of missing American soldiers. Drones also create 3D models of the wrecks, letting historians and families see lost details. These sites are now being protected as underwater heritage zones because of rising interest in diving and tourism. The stone circles of the Middle East, Jordan and Syria. Long before the pyramids or Stonehenge, ancient people in the Middle East were building huge stone circles called wheels or big circles. These were first seen in the 1920s by British Royal Air Force pilots. But only with modern drones did researchers understand their full size. Over 2,000 stone circles have been found in the deserts of Jordan, Syria, and Saudi Arabia, some over 7,000 years old, which is older than the pyramids by at least 2,000 years. The circles are 25 to 70 meters wide. Some have spokes, gates, or burial mounds. Drone mapping showed patterns and groupings not visible from the ground. Some circles lie along old travel paths, suggesting they may have been markers, ceremony spots, or early calendars. No writings or carvings explain who made them or why. These drone studies are part of the APAMI project, which continues to find more of these ancient stone structures every year. The Eye of the Sahara, Riqat structure, Mauritania. The Riqat structure, also called the Eye of the Sahara, is a giant circular landform in the Western Sahara Desert, about 30 miles wide. It can be seen from space, but drones in the 2010s showed its full shape clearly with wide-angle videos. Geologists say it formed over 100 million years ago through uplift and erosion, showing rock layers in perfect circles. What makes it famous is its look. It matches Plato's description of Atlantis, a round city with rings of water and land. Some people believe it could be Atlantis, though scientists don't agree. Still, drone videos went viral on YouTube and TikTok, making the eye popular again. In 2022, it was shown in a Netflix documentary on lost civilizations. Celebrities like Joe Rogan and Graham Hancock talked about it on big podcasts. Now, drones are used to make 3D maps and help scientists study this strange and beautiful landform more closely.